for a full and final agreement this year, but there is now a real question mark over how peace talks can progress with Israelis and Palestinians trading gunfire in the heart of the West Bank. Julian Mannion, ITN, Ramallah.
Kevin Keegan had a couple of surprises this afternoon when he named his provisional squad of 28 for the Euro 2000 Championships. He's included Everton's Nick Barnby and Aston Villa's David James. Keegan can only take 22 players, so there's still some weeding out to be done. Our sports reporter Peter Staunton looks at who's in and who's out.
A month before the start of the tournament, Kevin Keegan was flying the flag for England's Euro 2000 campaign. The flag itself was on the large side. The squad too will have to be pruned from 28 to 22 after the two upcoming friendlies against Brazil and the Ukraine. Keegan says he already has 18 names in mind for the final squad. Alan Shearer, one of them, in his last international event. The other 10 players will be competing for just 4 places. Impressive recent performances by Aston Villa's David James may yet see him included in the final 22 ahead of Richard Wright. West Ham's Rio Ferdinand is the least likely of the 5 central defenders to make it. The ability of Everton's Nicky Barnby to play on the left has earned him a recall in midfield. Steve McManaman's early problems in Madrid are over, but his former teammate Robbie Fowler will have to prove he's recovered from recent injuries. What Keegan needs now is a packed Wembley and the fans in full voice.
And obviously, a chance for us to play at Wembley in front of our fans. I mean, I think that's really important that we get the whole nation behind us. They are behind us. I'm convinced of that. Every time I walk down the street, I'm convinced of that. But we've got to give them a little push and let them be confident about what's going to happen in Euro 2000.
When England struggled through the qualifying campaign, they wasted a hatful of chances to sign off in style. Scotland ended up with an empty victory. Keegan now needs to convince his men they can turn chances into goals. Peter Staunton, ITN Sport.
Now, they're normally reserved for cup winners, champions and teams promoted to higher divisions. But today an open-top bus was being used by Bradford City simply to celebrate their survival in the Premiership. The team's heroes were duly acclaimed. Yesterday Bradford City beat Liverpool by 1-0. We end our programme tonight with a story of medical progress which has changed the life of a man who lost the use of his legs 10 years ago. Mark Merger is now able to take a few steps of his own because his damaged nerves have been replaced by an electronic stimulator. Our medical editor Lawrence McGinty looks at the results.
5-year-old Estelle and 2-year-old Hugo run to their father. Just another French family enjoying a day out in the park. But the Mergers are not just any family. Mark has been in a wheelchair since a car accident 10 years ago. He and his wife Veronique never totally gave up hope that he might one day walk again. I went to Strasbourg to meet Mark because he's the first patient to have a revolutionary new treatment. But in the dark days after his crash, he told me he was devastated.
I mean, it's not possible, not me. Other person, yeah, not me, it's not possible. I realized many weeks later that I spent my life in a wheelchair.
Mark lectures on banking in a prestigious university institute. He's adapted to life in a wheelchair, but now he and thousands of others have real hope of walking again. Last year he had an operation to insert electrodes onto his leg muscles, connected by fine wires to an implant in his abdomen. That's controlled by radio signals from a small computer strapped to his stomach. When it's all working, the computer sends signals via the implant to his muscles, and he can walk.
For me, is a very beautiful, great moment. I don't feel handicapped 100% anymore.
Mark is learning to walk again. He can now stand for 30 minutes and walk for about 20 meters.
I hope I go in my home and I walk room to room in my home. It's a beautiful day for me. Salut, salut Marcel.
Doctors say not everyone in a wheelchair can benefit from the new technique, and the implants have to be tested thoroughly. But for Mark at least, life is now a lot rosier. Lawrence McGinty, ITN in Strasbourg.
A reminder of the main news tonight. The head of the Police Federation says officers are struggling to cope with rising crime. Fred Broughton says cities are descending into anarchy and disorder. and 200 people are still missing after the explosion at a fireworks factory in Holland. 20 people died. That's the news so far this evening. Next from ITN is the ITV Nightly News at 11. We're here again tomorrow. We'll leave you now with the main images of the day. From all of us here at ITN, good night.
The public generally are losing confidence in the police service. In other words, when they need us, we're not there.
Anger is focused not on the loss of material possessions, but the proximity of these homes to a dangerous factory.
Over the next few days, we'll be slipping back from summer into spring, at least temporarily, a cooler, more unsettled outlook with some rain around. Now, most places have been dry today. The radar picture hasn't got a lot on it, has it? But these echoes are actually torrential downpours, and over the next few hours, there will be the odd thunderstorm, especially across eastern parts of England. They'll tend to die away through this evening. At the same time, though, thickening cloud will bring rain into Northern Ireland, and later on tonight, perhaps western Scotland by morning time, turning windy here. Elsewhere, a quieter scene, some patchy mist and fog in the east. Still the odd shower across southeastern parts of England. A mild night just about everywhere. Temperatures remaining in double figures in most places, around about 10 or 11 degrees. But that wind will be picking up in the west. Tomorrow, that wind will increase further, especially in western areas. A cooler feel here in the range of 13 to 15 Celsius across the bulk of Scotland and Northern Ireland. You'll notice a difference. Further south and east, still on the warm side in all 20 or 21, but that's cooler than we've had recently. 21 is 70 Fahrenheit. Still the odd shower for a while in the extreme southeast. Otherwise, most of England and Wales dry and bright. But further northwest for Scotland and Northern Ireland, a cloudy day to come with spells of rain edging in from the west. The odd heavy burst quite possible from time to time. Now, a quick look ahead, and for the rest of the week, it's really a very unsettled scene. Outbreaks of rain spilling in from the west. Some of those showers quite heavy. The best of the brightness further east. Temperature-wise, well, it's certainly sliding back down. A chilly feel, certainly by Thursday. The wind coming down from the northwest. Quite a blustery, cold wind too.
Power, Jim. Power, whatever the weather.
Hate getting up in the morning. I loathe getting up in the morning. Open my eyes and switch on GMTV. Thank you very much.
On goes the telly, GMTV, sliced toast, cup of tea, and then I start my day. It's a lovely light-hearted chuckle in the morning. But really, once I've had me cry and I've got GMTV on and a cup of tea, I'm a bundle of joy for the rest of the day.
Granada Television's weather, sponsored by Stay Bright Windows and Conservatories. The clear choice in any weather.
Heavy showers remain possible across our region during this evening, but they will die away as we go through tonight, so becoming dry with clear periods, and the odd mist, maybe the odd isolated fog patch by morning, but hopefully nothing too serious. Temperatures tonight, they're getting down to 11 Celsius, 52 degrees Fahrenheit, in just a light southerly breeze. Tomorrow, once we get rid of the mist and low cloud, there will again be some sunshine, tending to cloud over during the course of the afternoon, though with outbreaks of rain late afternoon and into the evening. Temperatures tomorrow up to 18 Celsius.
For a more detailed 5-day outlook, call Weather Update on 09068 55 9977.
All we want to do is stop the trucks.
Emmerdale, a 1-hour special, Tuesday at 8, ITV.
No one is going to get hurt.